Russia's military strategy has always been defined by adaptability, improvisation, and a willingness to repurpose existing assets when faced with constraints. In the current geopolitical climate, where sanctions, resource limitations, and battlefield demands collide, Moscow has unveiled a bold new approach, transforming training aircraft into combat-ready warplanes. This decision, while unconventional, reflects both necessity and ingenuity, and it has sparked debates across military circles worldwide. To understand the implications of this move, one must first examine the role of training aircraft in modern air forces. Traditionally, these planes are designed to prepare pilots for the complexities of flight, navigation, and combat maneuvers. They are lighter, less expensive, and often lack the advanced avionics or weapon systems of frontline fighters. Yet, in Russia's case, these trainers are being modified with hardpoints for missiles, electronic warfare pods, and even light bombs, effectively turning them into multi-role aircraft. The logic is simple. When resources are stretched, every airframe counts. Russia's defense industry, pressured by sanctions and limited access to Western components, has sought ways to maximize domestic production. By converting trainers, they bypass the lengthy timelines of building new fighters and instead create a stopgap force capable of supporting ground operations, conducting reconnaissance, and even engaging in limited dogfights. Analysts argue that this strategy mirrors historical precedents. During World War II, nations often repurposed civilian or secondary aircraft for combat roles. The Japanese used trainers as kamikaze planes, while Germany modified transport aircraft for bombing runs. Russia's current move echoes this improvisational spirit, though with modern technology layered on top. The geopolitical implications are significant. For adversaries, the presence of these converted aircraft complicates threat assessments. A plane once dismissed as harmless now carries weapons, altering battlefield calculations. For Russia, it sends a message of resilience. Sanctions may bite, but innovation ensures survival. Critics, however, question the effectiveness of such conversions. Training planes lack the speed, armor, and advanced radar systems of true fighters. In a clash against NATO standard jets, their survivability is doubtful. Yet, Russia may not intend them for direct confrontation with advanced Western aircraft. Instead, their role could be asymmetric, supporting ground troops, harassing supply lines, or overwhelming defenses through sheer numbers. This raises another dimension: psychological warfare. The sight of dozens of aircraft, even if not cutting-edge, can intimidate opponents and project strength. Russia has long understood the value of perception in military strategy. By showcasing these converted trainers, they reinforce the narrative of adaptability and determination. On the battlefield, these planes could serve as force multipliers. Imagine a scenario where frontline fighters engage enemy aircraft while trainers provide close air support. The enemy must divide attention, creating tactical dilemmas. Furthermore, the cost-effectiveness of this approach cannot be ignored. A converted trainer is far cheaper than producing a new fighter jet, allowing Russia to expand its air fleet rapidly. This strategy also highlights Russia's broader doctrine of layered defense and offense. Rather than relying solely on elite units, they employ a spectrum of capabilities, from drones to artillery to improvised aircraft. Each piece contributes to a mosaic of pressure against adversaries. The move also underscores the intersection of technology and necessity. Russian engineers have reportedly equipped these planes with modern targeting systems, albeit simplified, and compatibility with existing missile stocks. This ensures logistical efficiency, as the same weapons can be deployed across multiple platforms. International observers have reacted with mixed emotions. Some see it as a desperate measure, evidence of Russia's struggles. Others view it as a clever adaptation, a reminder that war often rewards creativity over convention. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. Russia is indeed facing constraints, but it is also leveraging its historical tradition of improvisation. For the pilots, flying these converted trainers presents unique challenges. They must adapt to aircraft that were never intended for combat, balancing the limitations of speed and maneuverability with the demands of survival. Training regimens are being adjusted to prepare them for these realities. This human dimension adds another layer to the story: the resilience of individuals tasked with executing unconventional strategies. Beyond the battlefield, the symbolism of this move resonates. It signals to allies and adversaries alike that Russia will not be cornered. Even when deprived of resources, it finds ways to fight. This narrative strengthens domestic morale and reinforces the image of defiance. Yet the risks remain. Over-reliance on improvised solutions can backfire. If these planes suffer heavy losses, the psychological impact could shift from intimidation to vulnerability. Moreover, the exposure of pilots to greater danger raises ethical questions. Are they being asked to fight with inadequate tools? Such debates are not new in military history, but they highlight the tension between necessity and responsibility. Looking ahead, the success of this strategy will depend on context. In low-intensity conflicts, converted trainers may prove valuable. In high-intensity battles against advanced adversaries, their limitations will be stark. Russia's gamble is that the benefits outweigh the risks, and that the symbolism of resilience will carry strategic weight. For global observers, this development offers insights into the evolving nature of warfare. It demonstrates that innovation is not always about cutting-edge technology. Sometimes, it is about repurposing what already exists. It also underscores the unpredictability of modern conflict, where even training planes can become instruments of war. In conclusion, Russia's bold new strategy of turning training planes into combat aircraft reflects both necessity and ingenuity. It challenges conventional wisdom, raises critical questions, and reshapes perceptions of military power. Whether it proves effective remains to be seen, but it undeniably adds a new chapter to the story of adaptation in warfare. As history has shown, the line between training and combat can blur, and in Russia's case, that line has now become a runway leading directly into battle.
Wars no longer begin with tanks crossing borders. They begin silently, with whispers, with lies, with invisible attacks on minds and machines. This is Russia's Phase Zero, a hidden strategy designed to destabilize nations long before open conflict erupts. It is a war fought in shadows, where the battlefield is not land or sea but information, perception, and trust. Phase Zero is the stage before open war. It is the unseen preparation, the softening of targets, the erosion of unity. Russia deploys